Hello, welcome to North Cave Wetlands, Yorkshire Wildlife Trust Reserve. We're on the M62 right at the end, junction 38, in the East Riding of Yorkshire, a place called North Cave. So we're parked up on Dryham Lane now, looking eastward to the main entrance, or entrance number 1 if you like, the famous little butty bus there. Walking into the viewing area for the village lake. Sit down, enjoy your lunch, flask of coffee, spam sandwiches with mustard. Marvellous. And here we have a Robin. Had his lunch and now enjoying sweet. Nicky. There we've got a general view of the village lake. Lovely October day. Recorded throughout the month. I believe I started on the 8th and took right till the 31st, the last day. So we're at the main entrance now, but got interrupted before we go in, and we're looking for a buzzard, which I don't find, so instead we'll admire the blue sky. Wonderful. Through the gates, and then immediately on our left we have toilets, able toilet and less able toilet. Building work, I think that's going to be storage area. So we continue on the east path adjacent to the main road between North Cave and Market Wheaton. Come up to the hide there. This is called the East Hide because it says so on the door. That's looking towards the west there. We're looking across the village lake. Anti geese, grey legs, lapwings. Leaving the east side now.
Sorry.
Thank you. Bumping into people, and we're going to continue northwards. Now here we've got a junction and we can turn right or left. To the right we've got the maize field, and then we go left. We go to the island lake with the turret hide. Quick view there to the right of the maize field, and to the left we go. Up the path westwards to the turret hide, and at the time of recording I believe this is the only hide that clearly doesn't have wheelchair access. All the other hides do. And this is why it's called a turret hide, because it's shaped like a turret, I suppose. Now from the hide, looking into the island lake, that's looking northwards there, coming across, and looking westward. It's a bit of a L shape.
Yeah,
Still, I suppose you could say. It's one of my favourite spots. The other spot being the West Walk. Back out, back down that little walkway there, eastwards. Get back to the junction. Turn left and head in a northerly direction to the far northeast corner of the reserve. Walking along, reserve to the left, Maysfield to the right. Still walking along, admiring the mud and the grass. More grass. I think we get there sometime today. At last, the northeast corner. Looking north into the farmer's field there. So we've just turned west now, heading westerly of course, along the north edge, through the dog leg. I'll look carefully in a second in the distance at top of the left hand screen. We'll see the turret where we've come from. There it is. On this part of the walk we have 3 tiny ponds, and these ponds are habitats for dragonflies, damselflies, mace flies, all sorts of flies I suppose, which clearly I'm not very well educated on. But fortunately, if we walk on, we come to an information board. And that gives you information on all types of dragonflies and the damselflies. So we walk on further on. That north edge road, fabulous for passerines. And as we look around there, we see the reed bed lake. So we continue past the lake. Now at the lake, we're just going to pan to the right, looking south there. The reed bed hide, of course, and swinging to the west. Now it's just further up here that Matt's Underwood introduced us to the lizard. I don't know what type, a very small lizard. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And thank you, Matt, for that. And just a little bit further on from where we've seen that hide, we come to a chair. Oh, no, first of all, we're looking at a damselfly, and Although it can be seen with the eye, I cannot see it through the camera lens. Look, there it is, right there, just gone. Nope, can't find it. Still looking. Zoom out, see if I get a better look. Zoom in. I think this should have really been an outtake. Now it's at this point here where Matt showed us the lizard, and they like to come out in the sun. If it's overcast, no lizard. But if the sun's out they pop. And Matt's even had one on his hand. So continuing the walk. That's looking northwards now, which is always worth a view if you can look through the hedgerow at the farmer's field and to see what you can see. Geese, etc. in the winter time. This is the far lake. Just looking through a gap in the hedgerow there. Looking southwards now into the far lake. We're now approaching the northwest corner. And this is the limit now of the reserve, as is October 2021, of course, because it will be expanded. And we're now looking into what is called the new workings. Zoom there, if you can see the owl box on the tree. That north hedgerow again full of passerines. Looking into the new workings, which will all be developed in due course. Back now to the west walk, walking south now towards Dryham Lane. Lovely walk this, this is my second favourite spot, full of passerines, woodpeckers, etc. We hear the sound of a robin. I think it's chasing us for more biscuits. There was a lot of passerines were passing by in the hedgerow, and I've attempted to record them, and I can't with the camera. It's easy on the eye, difficult with the camera. Lots of blue tits, long-tailed tits, the odd great tits, coal tits, but mainly blue tits and long-tailed tits. And to the left, we're still adjacent to the far lake, and they're looking through a gap we can see. But right now, we're still looking for passerines, and failing miserably. They're looking. I think that's a blue tit's bum. I'm not sure. More attempts at recording and not doing any good. So what we'll do instead, we will look down into the lake sometime today. I'll put the stabiliser on.
All right.
And we'll see a passing shoveler. Oh yeah. Reverse view there, coming back round, coming south. Lots of lovely trees. Continue heading south on the West Walk. Inkcap. Now this was recorded on the 8th of October. So continuing our walk. And we're now adjacent to the carp lake. The ubiquitous bench seat, they're all over the reserve, no end of them. Looking into the carp lake now. Beautiful. Watch out for the kingfisher. Silly boy, kingfisher. Anyway, heading up quickly. We're now approaching the second entrance. Or could be the first entrance if you're walking the other way around. Onto Dryham Lane, and we're going to continue west and work our way towards the Crossland Hyde. Again, at the time of recording, I think this is the newest hyde that was built. Although do please bear in mind this is an homemade amateur video, I'm not an expert. There's a view of the hyde there, so we're up on that hyde level now, and I'm panning now, looking northwards now, and that's the new workings that we saw from the northwest corner. Westwards there along Dryham Lane as it continues, and then a quick reverse now, looking panning right, looking at the hyde itself. It's huge, absolutely huge, and looking onto what is called the Silt Lake. So into Crosslands, because it says so on the door. Again, so now we're just looking south of Dryham Lane now onto the Ings, and they're divided into cells. We're looking into cell A, cell B and cell B going eastwards. Cell B, sorry, I beg your pardon, cell C being the nearest towards the main entrance, the car park. So we're eastwards now along Dryham Lane, turning into the second gate that we came out of just earlier, heading northwards along the west walk, but this time we turn right and we walk eastwards adjacent to Dryham Lane, and we're headed towards the Carp Lake at the north, I beg your pardon, at the south end of the Carp Lake. Have a seat on one of the many benches, admire the kingfisher, all the ducks, fabulous. And even at this time of year it's very warm, and I believe I was wearing a t-shirt at the time of recording. So we'll leave that and we'll head eastwards again adjacent to Dryham Lane, and we'll come out at a junction where the main lake is. And also at this point there's an information board which is called the Deal Tree, I think I've pronounced it right, I hope so, the Deal Tree Reserve, and I have to confess I have not read it. Shame on me. There's a picture of the reserve there, just the lower middle. Looking upwards, that's off limits area there. Now looking across at the main lake, and as I've said before, there's bench seats absolutely everywhere. Loads of bench seats, so if you've got bad legs like me, you can sit down and have a rest. So now it's through the gates, back onto Dryham Lane, but first we admire a piece of wood, a post. We're back onto Dryham Lane, we're going to head east, still adjacent to the main lake, because we're going to go into the South Hyde. This is the second to last hyde on our walk, and this looks northwards into the main lake. In we go into the south side. Quick look to the right there at the lovely wallpaper. Nicely decorated. And lo and behold, what have we got there? Right in the middle of the picture. Not a good view, I'm afraid. I don't have the technical optical equipment, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is a bittern. I will show close up, but unfortunately it's a digital close-up, which I really dislike. I'm not a fan of digital recording. Like I say, we're now close up into the digital recording, and this is not a cardboard cutout. Honest. So it's back to the main lake then, and the standard view, wide angle view, going from west through the north, finishing in the east. Nice big lake. And I'll do another quick close-up of the island at the back. Not easy to see on this wide angle view. And we'll look at the right hand side of the island at a cormorant doing what appears to be drying out its wings, perhaps, sorting out its feathers. I'll let you decide. So he's back out the south side, onto Dryham Lane, the Ings through that hedgerow there, looking towards the car park, handheld camera, hence the wobbly stuff. My apologies. Reverse view, panning round, and the last hide looking over the Ings. But if you're walking the other way, the first hide. Back on Dryham, heading towards my fabulous mini bagel. And that concludes the walk around North Cave Wetlands. And I'm absolutely indebted to Matt Underwood, Gary Days, Jeff Dobbs for their no end of help. It's no trouble at all. Ask them and it's no trouble. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.